Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years.
Nithyanandam Paramashivoham केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशम् तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nityanandam. Today, December 20th, 2021, marks the International Solidarity Day, a day established by the United Nations actions, and it is an inclusive journey, including every being. It is a collective journey in which every voice matters. It is a journey of responsibility and commitment to honor the rights of all people everywhere and to create a world in which peaceful coexistence with all beings is a reality.
As declared by the United Nations in 2005, International Solidarity Day is a day on which we celebrate our unity and diversity, a day on which we remind governments to respect their commitments to international agreements, a day on which we raise public awareness on the importance of solidarity, a day on which we encourage debate on the ways to promote solidarity for the achievement of the sustainable developmental goals, including poverty eradication. And it is a day on which we encourage new initiatives for poverty eradication. It is a story that each and every one of us is shaping through our thoughts, our words, our decisions, and our actions.
As per the Hindu sacred scriptures, the Shastra Pramana, there's a beautiful scriptural reference from the Brihadaranyukopanishad, where Bhagwan Paramashiva beautifully says, Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhaga Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bhagwan Paramashiva beautifully says, may all beings be prosperous and happy. May all beings be free from illness. May all beings see what is spiritually uplifting. May none in the world suffer.
Today, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Sovereign of the Sovereign State of Sri Kailasa, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, we welcome each and every one of you to this special panel discussion, which is aimed to promote and bring awareness to the importance of solidarity, collaboration and sharing, and international partnerships. The goal, working together so that people from all over the world can thrive and realize their fullest potential. To achieve this goal, we need to, 1, create the right opportunities, implement efficient solutions, achieve shared prosperity through mutual collaboration so that no one is left behind, and ensure a peaceful and sustainable environment for our future generations.
Your hosts, Her Excellency Ma Vijayapriya Nithyananda, Permanent Representative of Kailasa to the United Nations, as well as delegates from Kailasa, Ma Nitya Swatantra Priyananda, Ma Nitya Katitananda, and myself, Ma Nitya Mahakatitananda. We warmly welcome each and every one of you as we are all connecting today in solidarity. Solidarity was identified as one of the fundamental values of international relations in the 21st century by the United Nations Millennium Declaration.
And if we look at the state of the world today in data, whether it is poverty rates or malnutrition rates, hate crime rates, suicide rates, we can clearly see that humanity, we have lost sight of the dharmic way of living, the righteous way of living, which instills respect for all beings. Based on the science of incarnation as per Hinduism, an avatar lands on planet Earth to restore dharma. And there's another beautiful scriptural reference, a Shastra Pramana from the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan Shri Krishna declares, when positive consciousness declines, when collective negativity increases, O Bharata, at these times I myself happen in every age, to protect the pious and to annihilate the wicked, to re-establish righteousness. I myself appear age after age.
The previous incarnation who landed on planet Earth was Bhagavan Sri Krishna over 5,000 years ago. Today, our humanity is blessed to have the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva among us to guide us. He is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. With a vision to raise the consciousness of humanity, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the epitome of solidarity, working tirelessly to awaken individuals and communities to their highest possibility, a life of completion, power, bliss, and Advaita, oneness. Let us now watch a short video which beautifully gives us a glimpse into the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, showing his tireless work over the past 27 years of his public life, continuously working to unite humanity through spiritual strength, regardless of race, nationality, gender, religion, caste, or creed.
Founder of Kailasa, Paramashiva, and his 1008th incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the enlightened civilization, the greatest Hindu nation. His Divine Holiness was birthed by his predecessors of enlightened masters, great rishis, munis, siddhas, who predicted and recognized His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as an incarnation of Paramashiva, as per the science of incarnation described in Hinduism. From his first Chaturmasya at the age of 3 in the year 1980 until the age of 16 in the year 1994, the Supreme Pontiff was trained for the revival of Kailasa. He began reviving Kailasa from the age of 16 after the coronation on the 25th May 1994. Kailasa that we see today is 26 years of sincere hard work of the reviver and Hindu diaspora all over the world.
Problems of the modern day humanity, Sanatana Hindu Dharma is solution. Whether the terrorism or climate change, natural calamities or man-made calamities, for all the problems humanity is facing, the only solution is science of living enlightenment, revealed by Paramashiva from the Vedagamas in the modern day through this body. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution and setting model communities. Understand? Kailasa is reviving the ancient Hindu enlightened civilization. Paramashiva manifested this Kailasa Mandala, the enlightenment ecosystem and the lifestyle. I am going to revive this whole enlightenment ecosystem, Kailasa, by creating the model Kailasas all over the world. I will work sincerely and revive this spiritual science.
Building a nation is not a project accomplished overnight or by virtue of hope. Kailasa is the manifestation of 26 years of sincere hard work, sacrifices, integrity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Hindu diaspora worldwide for the past 26 years for the enlightenment of humanity.
Such a beautiful, inspiring, and uplifting glimpse into the life of an incarnation. And why is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism the epitome of solidarity? Because he landed in the physical body for the sake of humanity, to give enlightenment to humanity, because the yearning was so sincere and millions of beings who wanted liberation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the incarnation of Paramashiva, assumed the physical body. And so why is the work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism crucial in this time and age? Let us spend a little time to understand the need for solidarity in the 21st century. And we will focus on 3 factors which are slowing poverty reduction progress. Number 1, COVID-19. Number 2, climate change. Number 3, conflict.
So what are the impacts of COVID-19 on global poverty? As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a devastating effect on the economy and therefore on global poverty. However, what you may not know is that global extreme poverty is expected to rise for the first time in over 20 years. World Bank's press release on October 7, 2020, is stated that COVID-19 would add as many as 150 million extreme poor by 2021, and that 8 out of 10 new poor will be in middle-income countries. The COVID-19 crisis has also diminished shared prosperity, defined as the growth in the income of the poorest 40% of a country's population. According to World Bank Group President David Malpass, the pandemic and global recession may cause over 1.4% of the world's population to fall into extreme poverty. The solution, according to Mr. Malpass, is that in order to reverse this serious setback to development progress and poverty reduction, countries will need to prepare for a different economy post-COVID by allowing capital, labor, skills, and innovation to move into a new business, to move into new businesses and sectors. Overall, the World Bank's report calls for collective action to ensure years of progress in poverty reduction are not erased, and that efforts to confront poverty caused by COVID-19 also face threats that disproportionately impact the world's poor at the same time, particularly conflict and climate change.
What are the impacts of climate change on global poverty? In 2010, the United Nations declared that climate change is inextricably linked to poverty and hunger. According to the United Nations, 75% of the world's poor living in rural areas count on natural resources such as forests, lakes, and oceans for their livelihoods, and climate change is playing a havoc on those resources. According to the World Bank, the climate change in developing countries, without urgent action, climate change could push an additional 100 million people into poverty. How? Climate change creates, number one, prolonged droughts, devastate food supplies, and dry up water sources. Number two, food is becoming scarcer and less nutritious, for example, withered crops, and also destroys families' livelihoods. Hurricanes, floods, landslides, wildfires flatten or sweep away people's homes and destroy neighborhoods rooted for generations. Strife and conflict can also occur within communities as families compete for available arable land. Families become separated as relatives relocate to search for work.
So we've just heard how climate change has been impacting the world. Now we would look at the impact of conflict on global poverty. So what is the impact of conflict on global poverty? Firstly, conflict causes damage to infrastructure, institutions, and production. And as a result of the conflict, there are changes to the social and institutional environment that can affect people's vulnerability to respond to poverty. Also, there is the destruction of assets, the breakup of communities and social networks. Individuals' or households' ability to respond to economic shocks can determine the impact of conflict on their poverty levels in the short and long term. Then there's forced displacement and increased unemployment, as well as inflation. Displaced households and households with widows, orphans, and elderly or disabled individuals are most vulnerable to falling into poverty as a result of conflict. And households which are already poor risk falling further into poverty.
Let us now look at Sri Kailasa's solidarity efforts, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism stands for a world free of violence, working for the attainment of SDG 16, which is to promote just, peaceful, and inclusive societies. Standing in solidarity with victims of conflict, Kailasa, under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has taken the responsibility to educate on the role of religion in preventing wars, conflicts, and violence, and actively promotes harmony and interfaith dialogue. Recently, as the sovereign of the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, proclaimed October 18 as a day of solidarity and support for the victims of the recent terror attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh, urging other international agencies for religious harmony and peace to also take action. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, said, "The pain of the Hindus of Bangladesh is real and must be acted upon by the international agencies for religious harmony and peace." The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, sent healing prayers to the 150 Hindus injured during the communal ambush and to the families of the bereaved souls.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, stands for a world free from poverty and hunger, working for the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goal of UN, the goal number 1, which is ending poverty in all forms, as well as the Sustainable Development Goal number 2, zero hunger. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development puts forward a revolutionary vision, recognizing that our world is transforming, bringing with it new challenges that must be overcome if we are to live in a world without poverty, food insecurity, hunger, malnutrition, etc. At this crucial moment, we must therefore act to reshape our food systems to be organic and environmentally friendly by reevaluating our food choices in order to address the current crisis and prevent one from occurring. We need to reassert our commitment to working in solidarity to overcome these emerging challenges and free planet Earth from poverty, hunger, food insecurity, and malnutrition. In order to pave the way for the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goal of no poverty and zero hunger by 2030, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, founded the international humanitarian agency named the Red Om. Red Om is part of Kailasa's multifarious efforts in the fight against poverty and world hunger. Under the direct and constant guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, Red Om, in collaboration with Sri Kailasa's United Nations for Nutritious Food and Hunger-Free around the world, has served over 1 billion organic, sattvic, vegetarian meals and continues to expand its services to fulfill its goal of eradicating hunger on a global scale, based on sacred Hindu principles. The Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhriguvalavi, chapter 9, Navamo Anuvaka, verse number 1, and chapter 7, Shaptamo Anuvaka, says, Annam bahukurvita tatatvratam, annam nanindayat tatadvratam. The verse says, let us create and share food. Let all hungry stomachs be fulfilled with food. Let us not waste food. No place you can drop food where there's no hunger, either outside or inside. That is being authentic with food.
How is Red Om specifically contributing to the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030? Today, we would like to share a few concrete examples of efforts carried out by Kailasa. For instance, serving highly nutritious, life-saving meals for starving and malnourished children and their families in developing countries and around the world through Kailasa's Annadan, food donation initiative, as ordained by the Hindu scriptures as the best practice, not only from a societal context, but also for one's moral and spiritual upliftment.
Initiating the No Hungry Stomach Project in de facto spiritual embassies, consular offices, and other facilities, including Hindu temples, monasteries, satsang temples, paduka mandirs, satsang centers, micronations, healing centers, and franchisee campuses, as well as Hindu universities and schools all around the world, which conducts several free food drives in affected areas.
Serving and educating the population on the importance of an organic, sattvic, nutritious vegetarian diet to eliminate malnutrition and the prevalence of disease due to the meat-based chemical diet through various free educational initiatives. This work is being conducted in collaboration with Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University and Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Vegetarianism and Climate Change.
Reviving Kailasa's Nirahara Samyama, an ancient Vedagamic technique to raise the body beyond food, rediscovering the body's possibilities without having any external input like food or water, awakening and rekindling the power of the biomemory to produce energy and food directly from air, water, and space. Kailasa's Be Food Free is reviving to the world the greatest science of living by attaining wholesome and uncompromised nourishment, and more through abstaining from solid food.
Sustainable food donation initiatives, distributing freshly grown vegetables and fruits through adopting Vedagamic agriculture initiatives like high density farming, vertical gardening, organic farming to produce efficient yield in smaller footprint in all de facto spiritual embassies, departments, and agencies of Kailasa.
Shedding light on the association between the food and medical industry that go hand in hand for one to lead a long and healthy lifestyle through the sacred science of Ayurveda and Siddha medicine, which are Hindu medicinal sciences.
Working to guide humanity to experience their highest identity, Paramashiva, through the conscious consumption of a vegetarian diet, which acts as a prerequisite to sustain the awakening of the third eye and the Shaktis manifested through it, in collaboration with Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Mystical and Spiritual Sciences.
Sri Kailasa is actively working to fulfill the Sustainable Development Goal number 17, strengthen the means of implementation, and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. So in the spirit of solidarity and with a common goal of achieving shared prosperity and a sustainable future for all, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has recently entered into bilateral relations with several countries, cities and towns. On October 7, 2021, Kailasa entered into bilateral relations with the Entebbe Municipal Council of the Republic of Uganda. The two governments have come in union to stand together to make a better and safer world free from violence, poverty, hunger, and work together with common goals of international cooperation, mutual prosperity, and world peace. And on October 2021, the Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago gave opening remarks at the opening session of the CEC retreat to consider the matter of pending ordinances. He also introduced to members the bilateral agreement which he has established with Kailasa Nation to eradicate hunger, youth leadership, to promote youth leadership, holistic health, education initiatives, environmental stewardship, and sustainable living.
Replicating this initiative of mutual collaboration for the achievement of common goals, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa entered into bilateral relations with Dangriga town in Belize on December the 7th, 2021.
And in addition to some of the cities in Uganda and Belize, the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa also entered into bilateral relations with one city in the United Republic of Tanzania on December 8, 2021. The Wanza city is the capital of the Wanza region on the southern shores of Lake Victoria in northwestern Tanzania.
Sri Kailasa is committed to continue establishing more international partnerships for the attainment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, to create shared prosperity for all, as inclusivity is the fragrance of oneness, Advaita. No one is left behind. And in a world ravaged by war, pandemics, ecological destruction, hatred, and division, Sri Kailasa, founded and led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is reviving the ancient, indigenous, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, which believes in the oneness of all beings and the highest potential of all human beings, irrespective of their race, religion, country, color, gender, or background. We thank you for joining in today's presentation on this International Human Solidarity Day. And let us join together and continue to inspire action for a peaceful and sustainable future. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is leading by example. So let us now end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service, helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home, without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live power manifestation, and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being Paramashivoham. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashivoham will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering we have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems
Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive, somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyananda, I offer my humble obeisance, my humble pranam at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And I welcome each and every one of you as we are continuing on our celebrations of the day, starting from yesterday's Arudra Darshan, and then with the Darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and then with the Jayanti celebrations and special satsang. After that, the power manifestation sessions and a special panel in observance of International Day for the United Nations. And as well, now we're continuing on into the programs happening through this platform. Welcoming each and every one of you as we are progressing in our celebrations, and we are now going to be entering into the Parashakti Akashic reading program and delving into the divine revelations of Devi Parashakti as she manifested through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism this year. And over the course of the last 6 to 7 months, we've been continuously seeing how Devi Parashakti is manifesting and revealing the most profound Akashic readings. Akashic readings, as you might know or may not know, are not a prediction. They are a reading from the cosmic archives, where there is no past, present, and future. And it is simply a recording of what is yet to happen, what is going to happen, and what is happening currently. And in these Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti has given us the revelations of the future on global issues such as the COVID pandemic and the economic crisis, as well as different diseases that are going to plague the world, as well as the different wars that are underground and not even yet known to the human society. And as well, Devi Parashakti has given us profound sacred secrets, including secrets of neem flower, the secret of Padmasana. So much Devi Parashakti has revealed for each and every one of us to be guided, especially during this time of the Pralaya. And as the world is continuously facing different kinds of situations, crises that come to the shores of so many different cities, so many different communities, so many different neighborhoods and people, Devi Parashakti is literally our personal guide as we are navigating our way in these extremely strenuous and dark times. Now, today, we're going to be just briefly understanding a very profound message that Devi Parashakti has given to each and every one of us, Hindus across the world. She has given a strong and clear message for Hindus everywhere. And we're now going to be seeing that video where Swamiji, or Devi Parashakti manifesting through Swamiji, has revealed the profound sacred secret on Hindu birth.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள், உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்திரம். கேட்டு வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்திரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனிதப் பிறவி. அந்த மனிதப் பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து உழன்று அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பெற்றோர்க்கு பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம். மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு. அதனால் வருகின்ற நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால்தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம் அளிக்கின்றேன் யான். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழிப் பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது, உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்தோரை உயிர் வாழத் தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும், எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து ஜனனம் பெற்ற மக்களுக்கு இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம் உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மம் காத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய்ச் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரை பத்திரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள் சத்தியம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம். We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. Now, let us understand Devi's words mapped into English. Parashakti says, listen, Anthajam, Yonijam, Jalajam, Bijam. Like this, in 4 types of birds, in 840,000 yonis, in all these birds, the most greatest birth of them all is the human birth. And even in that human birth, being born and toiled many times, after getting burned and toiled into politics, in finance, in luxuries, in dharma, artha, and kama. And those who decide of not wanting this birth, wanting only moksha, only those will have Hindu dharma yonijam, the Sanatana Hindu dharma yonijam of being born to Hindu parents. Human birth is Uttamam, best, and Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottamam, best of the best. And everyone who took this Uttamottama birth has the responsibility of protecting the science of living enlightenment and Sanatana Dharma. And also they have the right of experiencing its benefits. This right was given to them because of their commitment given by them to do this responsibility. And after coming to Bhuloka, by getting mentally deluded and forgetting the dharma of protecting Sanatana Dharma, Maya, she is taking away all their soul. Understand carefully, I am giving Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam only for those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana Dharma, even by giving their life. After getting the body because of painful deluge, not dropping fear and greed, for those who forgot to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she will immediately add them all to the list of those who are not worthy of living. Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras are automatically taking away their life. Understand properly, for those who stand that even by giving their life they will protect Dharma, will permanently have Veera Swarga and Kailasa Padavi. And for any reason, people who forgot to protect Dharma, having the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, there is no other way for them. Sanatana Hindu Dharma human birth is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense, also your responsibility in this world is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility. Those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly, all those who took the Uttamottama birth, which is Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, all of you understand. The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, you will lose the right of living. After that, what bothers whether you live or get destroyed? Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you so that the burden on earth is reduced. And seeing that Maya, she will keep quiet. Having understood Devi's message directly for Hindus across the world, let us see why she is being this strong for each and every one of us. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition, an open framework of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, nonviolence, yoga, worship of nature, temple-based living, manifesting spiritual powers, and the inherent divinity of every single being. Hinduism is the most non-violent religion in the world, and today has so many statistics, is the most non-violent ethnical group in so many different countries. It's the most educated religious group in many different countries, and has several different kinds of statistics like this in order to back up how progressive, successful Hindus are across the world. And having this as our backup, as our inherent nature, very much in our very blood, Hindus have to take the responsibility in order to ensure that our tradition is protected and the solutions of our tradition are offered to the world. The Hindu nations are ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings are produced so that the civilization could be kept and its great gifts shared with the world. Enlightened beings that have been happening in the Guru Parampara from time immemorial, continuously giving the world superconscious breakthrough and spiritual breakthrough. Whether it is Swami Vivekananda, who ventured to the world, to the West, to America for the first time, and was among the first sannyasis to bring the spiritual knowledge to America. Paramahamsa Yogananda. Then after that, even Aurobindo and other great enlightened beings, Swami Prabhupada, and every single other great enlightened incarnation, great enlightened being, who has brought the great spiritual sciences to the world, and it has thus subsequently affected the growth and the status of the world, the conditions of the world. We have seen how literally every single enlightened being has been a pioneer for peace, for coexistence, and spreading the spiritual sciences in order to increase and help humanity wherever they are. The truth is that for the last hundreds of years, thousands of years, if not, this Hindu civilization has been living a very successful, very amazing lifestyle, and has shown how it is extremely Now let us see how the Ramaraja is described in Valmiki Ramayana. The Hindu nation ruled by Bhagwan Rama is described, where it says there were no widows to lament, and there was not any danger, nor any fear of born diseases. The world was bereft of thieves, and no one felt worthless, nor did anyone perform obsequies against youngsters. Everyone was intent on virtue, and their eyes going towards Rama alone. Creatures did not kill one another. People survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free from fear and grief. The trees were bearing and fruitful and regularly without any injury or infestation by insects. The clouds were raining and the winds were delightful to touch. Everyone was performing their own duties, satisfied with their work and bereft of any greed. People were content on virtue and lived without telling lies, and the people were endowed with excellent characteristics, and all were engaged in virtue. Yes, and the next reference we have here is from the Srimad Mahabharata of the Hastinapur kingdom ruled by Yudhishthira, where it says, the Devas granted rains to fulfill all the desires of the world and became free of all disease. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere, or mental suffering, and those without livelihood were given livelihood. There was no worry left for anyone, and there was no fear either, and happiness on earth was indeed greater than it was in the heavens. nation had so much to contribute to the world in every field: enlightenment, health, medicine, art, science and technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, and even in the social system, the judicial system, the political system, and the legal system. In every single aspect, the Hindu nation had so much to contribute to the world. But today, why are we living? Why are we seeing the same kind of civilization in our world? Now, we're going to be understanding how it went from the best of the best civilization and the most advanced civilization to today. And what is the status of Hindus today? We're going to be seeing the destruction of the Hindu civilization in 3 phases. The first phase was the Islamic invasions, where it was from 800 to 1700 AD, and it was the physical destruction of the Hindu civilization. The Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abductions of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and the destruction of temples carried out by warriors of Islam during 800 AD to 1700 AD. Millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period, and millions more were raped and murdered and dismembered. This is a quotation from Will Durant from the book The Story of Civilization. And in another quotation, it's describing how the Islamic law had prescribed for Hindus how they should be treated. And this was conveyed to Aladdin Khilji by his Qazi, a legal advisor. And this quotation was derived from a narrative of Abdullah Wasa, where it says, Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must, with greatest humility, offer gold. And if a Mohammedan desires to spit in a Hindu's mouth, the Hindu should open it wide for the purpose. God created the Hindus to be slaves of Mohammedans, and the Prophet hath ordained that if Hindus do not accept Islam, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their property confiscated. To keep the Hindus in abasement is especially a religious duty, because they are the most inveterate enemies of the Prophet. You're seeing a portrayal here of Hindu women who are forced to wear garlands made from the bodies of butchered children. And like this, the crimes done against Hindus can go on and on and on. Literally rivers that were produced from human blood, from the death of Hindus, is recorded in the Hindu Holocaust. And from Kanhadade Prabandha in 1456, he said that the conquering armies burned villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flogged with the thongs of rawhide, and carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners to obsequious Turks. In all, in a summary, the total number of Hindus slaughtered during this time was 200 million, and there was 100,000 temples destroyed during the entire Islamic invasion. And that brings us to the next phase, the British occupation, which happened from 1700 to 1947, where it says that I have seen a great people starving to death before my eyes, and I'm convinced that this exhaustion and starvation are due not, as their beneficiaries claim, to overpopulation and superstition, but to the most sordid and criminal exploitation of one nation by another in all recorded history. This is a quotation, another one from Will Durant, who has recorded and commented on the British rule in India. And this is commenting on the famines, the engineered famines that were set against the entire populations in order to push these people to exhaustion and starvation and death due to starvation, which is literally the worst kind, most painful death that you can experience, because it literally breaks your psychology. And for a long time, for many, many years, these famines were not considered even to be an engineered famine. They were considered to be, the whole narrative around it was considered as an accident that happened due to overpopulation and superstition. The fact that so much of the government had just neglected the populations that were dying was absolutely undiscovered and untold until today. The British Empire used all kinds of means to destroy Hindu civilization and the cultural institutions in order to legitimize and demoralize the indigenous peoples of India and the Hindu civilizations, so they would become slaves in their own homeland. The first is discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority. The second, engineered famines to starve natives into submission. They annexed Hindu kingdoms to undermine native rule. They mistranslated the Hindu scriptures to instill anti-Hindu narratives, destroyed indigenous Gurukul education system, and they destroyed the local industries and forced importation of British goods, and they banned Indians from owning or producing firearms. This is just a list of 7 cunning strategies of how the British had literally been able to enslave an entire population without anyone noticing, and literally be able to ensure that they're never able to get back up. And it is not, as they try to make it seem, a way in order to help or in order to uplift another civilization, but to subjugate an entire civilization. And in fact, they had a theory that they believed in order to justify to themselves and to the world why they were subjugating the Hindu populations, and in fact any indigenous population. This was called the British master race theory. Using scientific theories of racism and social Darwinism, the British justified their conquest and oppression of dark-skinned people as humanitarian and a civilizing mission, even though it was a mere cover for racial oppression and economic exploitation. And Charles Kingsley, a celebrated professing historian and friend of Charles Darwin and the priest of the Church of England, had said, "Do you not see that by following these studies you are walking in the very path to which England owes her wealth, the glorious work which God seems to have laid on the English race to replenish the earth and subdue it?" It shows us the intentions behind the British as they were coming to India, and they were trying to loot an entire population and enslave an entire population. And the whole British occupation was 200 years of intense racial hatred that still is perpetuated in the against the Hindu population, I can say. James Mill, an author of The Victory of British India, an intellectual leader for the East India Company civil servants, has said that the Hindus are full of dissimulation and falsehood, the universal concomitants of oppression, and the vices of falsehood indeed they carry to a height almost unexampled among the other races of men. As for religion, no people have drawn a more gross and disgusting picture of the universe than what is presented in the writings of Hindus. Very few words are required because the superiority of Mohammedans in respect of religion is beyond all dispute. In truth, the Hindus, like the eunuch, excel in the qualities of a slave, and the Mohammedan is more manly. And this demonstrates one of the ideologies and strategies that the British had instilled into the Hindu population and the population that was residing in India of divide and rule, divide and conquer. And here you can see a quotation from Shashi Tharoor, who says that the British had been horrified during the revolt of 1857 to see Hindus and Muslims fighting side by side and under each other's command against the foreign oppressor. They vowed that this would not happen again. Divide et impera, divide and rule, was an old Roman maxim, and it shall be ours, wrote Lord Elphinstone. A systematic policy of fomenting separate consciousness among the two communities was launched with overt British sponsorship. And of course, we have seen that the British have instilled the ideas even within the Hindu sampradayas, within the Hindu populations themselves, where today, rather than seeing each Hindu sampradaya, where there's 10,000 sampradayas, as an ecosystem coexistence, instead pitting each sampradaya against one another and trying to make it as though that there are trying to promote the narrative, the completely false narrative that there are differences or disagreements and there are violences against one sampradaya against another. And they have built this narrative even about Hindus, not just about Muslims versus Hindus, but also within Hinduism itself, in order to divide us continuously and ensure that we cannot unite, we cannot hold and stand strong for our truths and ensure that their civilization is protected. Another way that the British have subjugated the population of Hindus was engineered famines. And this was just to break the spirit of the people. Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister of India, sorry, if we can go back to the last slide. Can you go to the previous slide, please?
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life We can help you with everything.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. We'll now continue. So Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, had also said, "I hate Indians. They are beastly people with beastly religion. The famine was their own fault for breeding like rabbits." This was the entire narrative that the British had continued to propagate in a cover-up for the millions of people who had died due to starvation in several different places around India. And it was not something that was due to negligence or superstition, as has been the narrative for hundreds of years, but was due to a engineered strategy in order to literally eliminate an entire population. Harsh British tax and export policies and poor infrastructure management caused multiple famines in India, claiming tens of millions of lives. And as well, another way that the British had subjugated the whole Hindu population was destroying the local industry to ensure dependence and poverty. Prior to the colonial rule, India was one of the world's leading textile manufacturers and producers of the finest fabrics. The British engaged in a systematic campaign to destroy the local handloom industry through harsh taxation and export policies that forced India to import British-made textiles and banned Indian textiles from being sold in foreign markets. Within a generation, Indian weavers were turned into beggars and their indigenous skills were lost forever. Even until today, some of the most ancient arts and the culture of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is endangered, and some of it extinct due to the laws, the harsh taxation. It continues on until today. And we also saw that by 1878, the Indian railway mechanics in Jamalpur in Bengal and the Ajmer and Rajputana had become so proficient in maintaining locomotive trains that they started designing and building their own models at a fraction of the cost of the imported British trains. Of course, this didn't make the British very happy. The British Parliament responded by passing an act in 1912 banning all local manufacturers of trains to ensure India's economic dependence on their colonial masters and to destroy any native technological innovation or technological know-how. This economic dependence continues on until today in a very blaring way that each and every one of us Hindus should understand and see our history as it is as reality. Yes, and more on the seizure, taxation, and ruin of Hindu temples, where it says that it was a strange but determined piece of policy when throughout the country, the pagoda lands, pagoda here they're referring to as temple, were resumed by the East India Company and artistic allowances were granted in their place. Now let us contemplate the result of this plan. From one end of the country to the other, the pagodas are ruined, unmaintained, and revenues of the Tripedi are on a gradual decline and will die in the lapse of years of a natural death. Some of the most celebrated temples in the country are worse off, but there are still, alas, many more strongholds of the devil. So in this you can see the amount, how much they had employed, strategized in order to ruin the Hindu temples and destroy the Hindu temples. Another strategy that we have here is the false anti-Hindu narratives. British rulers perpetuated the narrative that Indians and Hindus were generally illiterate and education was restricted to high caste Hindus. But their own surveys revealed that every village had at least one school, and Shudras, the other low caste children, constituted 70 to 84% of the students. In contrast, a century of direct British misrule of India left the population with a dismal 12% literacy rate. And of course, it would be astounding to see how the most advanced civilization that ever lived would come up with poor literacy rates, would be completely unsuccessful, being made economically dependent, and with so many people suffering from starvation and poverty. This is how, after 200 years of British rule, the most richest civilization on planet Earth had been reduced to a poster child of poverty today, just because they had promoted these false narratives continuously. Otherwise, it's absolutely unfathomable how one of the most knowledgeable civilizations could be represented in this manner. And as well, the civilization where Sanskrit and the most complicated mathematics are simple for every single student and for every single individual, we cannot even fathom how there would be such a discrepancy in the narrative that the British present. And one of the other strategies that the British had was creating a class of brown British natives. Thomas Macaulay, one of the strategists behind the British strategy and the British rule in India, who had written in the Minute on Education that we must at present do our best to form a class who may be interpreters between us and the millions whom we govern, a class of persons Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect. To that class we may leave it to refine their vernacular dialects of the country, to enrich the dialects with terms of science borrowed from Western nomenclature, and to render them by degrees fit vehicles for conveying knowledge to the great mass of the population. So here you can understand Macaulay's strategy in order to build a class of brown British, of people who had adopted the culture, the attitude, the racism also of the British, and had done that to subjugate their own population. Despite their best efforts to adopt the English language, clothing, and mannerisms, the Anglicized brown British native clerks of India were often viewed with contempt and ridiculed as Bengali baboos by their white masters for their ornate speech, self-importance, and fawning attitude towards any Westerner that they met. So the British had used this as another way to subjugate. Even though the brown British had been made, they had successfully been made a class of brown British natives, they were continuously subjugating them, making fun of them for continuously wanting to be white or wanting to be British, but they weren't. And they were completely adopting another culture, but they were not at all successful in being praised by society or being accepted by the British. Unfortunately, what was happened is that this class of people had generations after that gone against the native Hindus and the indigenous Hindus in our own tradition. And even the Hindu Rajas across all the Hindu sovereign states were made into proper British gentlemen. In fact, at my own college in the East of India, it says that the concerned at the rising awareness of the nationalism after the Indian Mutiny of 1857, the British realized that to strengthen their hold in India, they being just a handful, needed to widen their political and psychological management of India and the Indians. Thus, they began to focus on the education of native princes and the pursuit of the objective in Macaulay's Minute on Education of 1837 to create a class of people Indian in blood and color, but in English and opinions, in morals and in intellect, became the cornerstone of their strategy. And one of the ways that they had also ensured the Hindu civilization was subjugated was by criminalizing indigenous communities through the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. The British government passed the Criminal Tribes Act, where various ethnic communities were deemed subversive to the colonial authority simply because they did not conform to the idea of civilized living. Targeted populations such as sadhus, sannyasis, tribals, nomads, gypsies, and sudras were presumed guilty by birth, murdered, raped, arrested, had children separated from parents, and held in penal colonies or quarantined without conviction or due process. Upon release from British custody, targeted communities were subject to surveillance and given tattoos to stigmatize them and make them easier. So this is the way that sannyasis, sadhus, were criminalized by the British civilization, and they were made as criminals. These narratives continue on until today, even in the media. Another example of the criminalization is the Thuggy and Dicosity Suppression Acts. In an effort to demonize Hindus and to feed the stereotype of the savage Oriental, British authorities and media sensationalized stories of bloodthirsty Thuggis or bandits who would offer human sacrifices to the wicked and fearsome goddess Kali. The images of the Thuggy were promoted worldwide as an example of all that was wrong with India. In addition to denigrating Hindu culture, the narrative of Thuggy menace was also used to justify colonial rule and suspend civil liberties and target subversive elements that challenged British hegemony. And the word thug actually even came from this very strategy against Hindu population. Today, people use it worldwide, but it came from the subjugation, marginalization of the ancient indigenous people of the Hindu civilization. In summary, the British occupation had looted from India $45 trillion, and the Hindus dead due to famines and poverty was 45 million people, and the native kingdoms, which were usurped by British Raj, was 680. And again, Shashi Tharoor had said that the British came to one of the most richest countries of the world, but after 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction, had reduced it to a poster child of third world poverty. And unfortunately today, that is still the image of India that many people carry outside of India, that it is an impoverished place, but only due to the subjugation, marginalization, and enslavement of a whole civilization against another. This brings us to phase 3, the secular India, which goes from 1947 to present and carries on the story forward from the brown British natives that the British class that the British had created. When Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, had been and known as the architect of the Constitution, had made and was engineering and planning for India to be separated from all of the different countries and become its own nation. It was entirely, sorry, if you can go to the previous slide. Nehru had even said that it was not even possible that India could be a Hindu republic. In fact, he said, what a disgusting and savage people we are. Politics, progress, socialism, communism, science, where are they before this black religious savagery? India could never be a Hindu republic. And not only Nehru, but several of the people who were at this time working to ensure that the Indian government comes up on its feet, including India's first law minister, B.R. Ambedkar, had said that if Hindu Raj does not become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. No matter what Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity, and it is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. And the modern Indian legal system, academia, and media all systematically undermine, suppress, and delegitimize Hindu institutions and culture. India's constitution established governmental control and taxation over Hindu temples, schools, while other religions are free from interference. Articles 26 to 30 of India's constitutions discriminate against Hindus by giving special rights and benefits to non-Hindus. And Hindu kingdoms and self-governance was abolished. Anti-superstition laws were passed to criminalize Hindu practices. Still and again, mainstream Indian academics described the Hindus as sexist, racist, backwards, and oppressors, and negative media portrayals of Hindus in Bollywood and TV were propagated in all different channels with all different means. And Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portrayed Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt, and as sex fiends in a manner similar to British imperial propaganda. In fact, if you see the pictures here, you'll see that there's several different parallels between how modern-day Bollywood films and depictions are so similar to British imperial propaganda and depictions of Hindus. Media narratives are used to shape human consciousness and further political agendas. Racist British colonial stereotypes portraying Hindus as superstitious, as backwards and dishonest, as corrupt, are perpetuated by brown British successors in the modern India, and is absolutely unabated. We've seen now the three phases of the destruction of Hindu civilization, and the truth is that it does not end there. Hindus are a dying population. Every country that was once a Hindu kingdom, that was once a Hindu desha. We were once 56, and today we are absolutely zero. It is only the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who is reviving the nation, a Hindu nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has courageously stood for the vision of a Hindu civilization. Swamiji says, during the time of Mahabharata, we Hindus have 56 deshas or countries, 200 states, 1700 samsthanas or provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas or traditions. In all 56, we Hindus are persecuted. And now we have lost all 56. The last one was in the fall of Nepal. I am the collective voice of all persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation built on Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all practicing and aspiring Hindus, a safe haven for all persecuted Hindus. This revival of Kailasa, the Hindu nation, is reviving this whole life of enlightened civilization and all the great things it has to offer to the world, bringing legitimacy to all offering Sanatana Hindu Dharma and sharing it with the whole world is the very purpose of Kailasa. The Hindu nation. Kailasa is to bring the revival of the cosmic constitution. Kailasa is the model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, everything will be right as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamic Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures. And being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation may not know about Hinduism only through the history textbooks. They might even just get a brief idea, if not anything at all. But what can we do to stand up for Hindu civilization and all that it has to offer to the world? This is a question that each and every one of us must ask ourselves. Today, Hinduism is a political orphan, and the preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. So we must reclaim our Hindu identity. Hinduism is responsible for our successful life. Hindus all over the world must recognize this. If you are happy, healthy, rich, successful, peaceful, happy, respectable, have a stable family, if you have the best mental health, you have to understand that Hinduism is responsible, the Hindu identity is responsible, and the Hindu scriptures are responsible. It is the Hindu scriptures which gave us the best mental setup. All the best things we Hindus have, Hindu scriptures, are responsible. And Hindus are the richest and most successful ethnic community in the world. Hindu scriptures, the Hindu lifestyle, our enlightened masters are responsible for this. The Hindu thought currents are responsible for this. And it's not just the anti-Hindu elements being active that is responsible for the destruction of Hinduism, but also, and most importantly, the responsible Hindus being inactive. Now let us take responsibility for Hinduism and let all Hindus all over the world reclaim our Hindu identity. This is our responsibility, our collective responsibility as Hindus. We must, by all means possible, ensure that the solutions that Sanatana Hindu Dharma can provide is available for the world for eternity. According to the WHO, globally more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression. And the World Drug Report of 2019 claims that 35 million people worldwide suffer from drug use disorders. And close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every single year. And there are 70 billion land animals who are killed for food every year. It is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this civilization again and again and give all the gifts of the enlightened civilization to humanity. Give the solutions that we provide to humanity, a solution for depression, for drug addictions that can spiritually resolve each and every one of our ailments. Now, the revival of Kailasa, the enlightened civilization, is the survival need of humanity itself. This is an invitation loud and clear to all of the Hindus, whether you are a born Hindu or a practicing Hindu, a sympathetic Hindu, or if you're curious towards Hinduism, or if you're wanting to explore and enjoy Hinduism. Whomever you are, please do come and be a part of this revival. And one of the ways that you can do that today is by registering for your e-passport. You can go to kailasa.org and register for your e-passport, become an e-citizen of Kailasa. This allows you to enjoy all of the various different offerings and services of Kailasa, and there are thousands of offerings and services that you can enjoy every single day, every single hour, if you wish. Now, let us hear from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself on why Sri Kailasa is needed for the whole humanity.
I have incorporated this Kailasa, nation without borders. Kailasa, nation without borders. In a way, I can say whole universe is the Kailasa. Kailasa, nation without borders. I have incorporated in multiple countries. Each Kailasa will function in their own countries as per that country's law, within that country's law. Understand? The Kailasa is revived to do contribution, uniting the nations for contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music. In every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books, 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all the scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing these whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than one cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day, over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world. Understand? I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. Kailasa is all about university, to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, Life is all about contribution, contribution, contribution.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. This is a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
Yes. Nithyananda, welcome back to all of the viewers who are joining with us. As we are celebrating today's the fourth day of the Nithyanandotsavam, let us see the glimpses of the glorious past. we're going to be seeing every year of the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and how much every single year Swamiji has worked. As you can see here, the 19th of December 2011, the visit to the temple of Tiruvannamalai in Arunachala Sarvangipeetham by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In 2012, Inner Awakening on the Grand Cruise Ship of day 12 on the Grand Cruise Ship, the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And in 2013, on this date, in 2013, Bali Inner Awakening, day 19, Sarvadarshan with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And in 2015, Nithyanandoham, day 13, in Phuket, Thailand, where Swamiji is conducting a mandala process. And Sadashivoham, day 19, a prolific interview by the honored guest and scholar Rajiv Malhotra on the 19th of December 2016. And day 4 of Mahasadashivoham on the 19th of December 2017, during a Mahasadashivoham session with Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And 2019, Nithyananda Satsang with Swamiji, and celebrations of Avatar Dino Brahmotsavam. And 2020, also celebrating session 18, day 6 of the Paramashivoham convention, and the Nithyananda Satsang with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, Swamiji is offering the Atma Shanti for General Bipin Rawat, the Chief of Defense, the officer of the Indian Armed Forces, who had passed away on the 8th of December 2021. Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism pray to Paramashiva for the Atma Shanti of the 13 lives lost in the tragic helicopter crash. Sorry, if we can go to the previous slide. Yes, and we also are offering prayers for all the lives affected by the 7.3 earthquake and the Atma Shanti for Umayal Ramanathan Achi. Yes, and you can see glimpses of the glorious past from the 19th of December 2005, where Swamiji is conducting the Nithyanandam program. And 2006, the Kodikan Radha Yatra, which Swamiji is conducting, the 19th of December 2006. Here you can see Swamiji during the Sarvadarshan with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the 19th of December 2009. And finally, Inner Awakening with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Adi Kailasa on the 19th of December 2010. That was our glimpses into the glorious past from 2005, every year on this day, December 19th. So now we'll be concluding this segment in today's program and going on to the next segment, understanding the various different offerings that we can make for Devi Parashakti and offer our gratitude to Parashakti today. We'll now be right back with you after a quick break.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background.
Nithyananda, welcome back, dear viewers, for the next session where we are going to be sharing with you the various offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. What are the different offerings and how can we experience the grace and the blessings of Devi Parashakti? And how can we express our love, devotion, and gratitude to Devi Parashakti? Joining me in this segment is Manitya Amritananda, and both of us together will be sharing the various sevas that we can offer to Devi Parashakti.
Yes, and the first offering we have is the offerings of the hundi, which we can offer in any amount and in multiple currencies. This is similar to the hundi offerings where we can offer any token of gratitude and devotion to the divine when we receive the darshan, just as we have in any temple in India. And Devi is described as Bhakti Priya, one who is fond of true devotion. This verse from the Lalita Sahasranama describes Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharadharadhya, Sharvani, Sharmadaini. And the translation of this verse, it says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role of the divine is known and understood clearly, and the need for Devi worship becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu, Lord Shiva. Sharadaradhya is the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada herself, Devi Saraswati. Sharvani is the wife of Lord Shiva. Linga Purana describes Lord Shiva as Sharva in his earth form. Dharmadayini is Devi who bestows happiness upon her devotees. You can make your offering of love and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, your token of gratitude in the e-hundi. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/save us.
The next offering we have to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa. These in the Saundarya Lagri, the beautiful chant, the meaning of the verse says, let the mantras I chant with a sacrifice in my soul become chanting of your name. Let all my movements become auspicious mudras. Let my travel become perambulations round thee. Let the act of eating and drinking become fire oblations in the homa or yajna to thee. Let my act of sleeping become salutations to you. Let all the actions of the pleasure of mine become part of your worship. Blessings for both asked and unasked, remembered and forgotten wishes to be manifested by the grace of Devi Parashakti. And you can offer the Sankalpa, your conscious resolution, your intention to manifest what you would like to manifest in your life by visiting the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the offering of the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. And when you make this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, where each coin is inscribed with one of the powerful names of Devi, describing her Ananta Kalyana Gunas, her very divine qualities and attributes, you can also awaken these same divine qualities in you. So you can make this offering of the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can make this offering in 3 different denominations and any number of coins as you wish to offer. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, which is the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And in the Devi Suktam, Devi is described as the one. This prayer to Devi Parashakti says, let the goddess who brings good fortune, who is praised by the gods, who is served by Devendra, who is praised by Devas, troubled by the Asuras, who is praised and remembered as devotion to her solves all, who is the source of all good in the world, let that goddess destroy all obstacles. So you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti, the pearl, the gold fingering embedded with pearl, to Devi Parashakti as your token of gratitude and devotion, and be showered with Devi's blessings for protection from all dangers and fears. You can register for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next offering we have to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. The beautiful reference from the Hindu scripture says, Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayini Mantra Murte Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. Devi who bestows accomplishments and intellect who showers worldly prosperity. Devi who powers the subtle mantra of the cosmos. I bow to you, O Devi Mahalakshmi. Blessings for attracting positive relationships in personal and business dimensions of your life. You can offer the Swarna Padma Pushpa. It comes in 3 different sizes: $600, $1,200, and $1,800. And you can offer the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the Golden Lotus, by visiting the website www.kailasamrila.com/sevas.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti. And in this verse from the Saundarya Lahari, it is described that Lord Brahma, the creator of pure, selects the dust from your feet and creates he this world. The great Adishesha with his 1,000 heads somehow carries the dust of your feet with effort great, and the great Lord Rudra takes it and powders it nice and uses it as the holy ash. Any grain of dust from the feet of Devi Parashakti, when worshipping a tiny grain of dust from her feet, showers us with blessings, and you can receive the blessings of leadership qualities by offering worship to the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarnametti is the gold touring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas.
The next offering we have is the offering of the Swarna Mantika, which is the golden hairline jewelry. And the Sudha Sarabhivarshini, a beautiful reference to Devi Parashakti in the Lalita Sahasranama Stotra. It says, she who makes the nectar flow from the Sahasrara, the crown center, to the Agnya, the third eye or the brow center, and permeates through all the 72,000 nadis to give us the ultimate experience of the cosmos. You receive blessings for an enlightened lifestyle. You offer the Swarna Mantika, the golden hairline jewelry, and the offering of the Swarna Mantika is $750.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti and to Guru, who is the Nijavatara, the through whom Devi Parashakti herself is manifesting, is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. This is the most sacred ritualistic offering of gratitude to Guru. And in this verse from the Guru Ashtakam, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, he sings, Yasho me gatam dikshu dana pratapa jagadvastu sarvam kareyat prasadat manaschena lagnam guro rangri padme tatakim 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 tatakim. And the translation for this verse, it says, my repute has traveled in all directions through my philanthropy and prowess. All the things of this world are in my hands as rewards for my virtues. Yet, if one's mind be not centered upon the lotus feet of the Guru, what then, what then, what then? And the Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most sacred, most auspicious offerings to Guru, who has happened as our cosmic mother, father, Guru. He is the embodiment of everything. And this is one of the most sacred offerings that we can offer as a disciple to express our gratitude and devotion to Guru. So you can register for this offering and be blessed with the sweetest path to enlightenment. And now you can register for this offering to make this offering on the day of the happening of the avatar, the happening of our Guru. On December 28th, we are celebrating the Avatara Jayanti. We are celebrating the Nithyanandotsava Brahmotsava, and the day of happening is on the 28th of December. So you can register for the Pratyaksha Pada Puja and offer it on this most special occasion of the Avatara Jayanti. So you can register on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas.
Yes,
And
and yes, ma'am. Just wanted to share about the significance of this wonderful ritual. See, as a disciple, what is the bhava with which we connect with the Guru? What is the emotion with which we connect to the Guru? The highest form of emotion is gratitude. Always we connect to the Guru in the space of gratitude. Typically, when we look back into our life, we are constantly looking at life in terms of what is it that I do not have. I do not have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I need a new job, I need a better house, I need a better car, I need, my children are not listening to me, I need my children to do well in their education, I want them to get settled well. And constantly we are only looking at what is it that we do not have, and we do not have. Swamiji so beautifully says, we complain that we do not have a diamond ring. We forget to appreciate that we have a finger to wear the ring. Typically the life always moves in terms of what next. What can I do next? What can I get next? That is how our life is constantly doing. And when the Guru happens in our life, Swamiji literally takes care of everything, known and unknown obstacles in our life and any of the karmas that could affect us in our lives. In so many different ways, the Guru literally removes so many of the problems, which we may not even be aware of. There's a beautiful joke Swamiji says. He says, in terms of the definition of a husband, Swamiji says, husband is somebody who is always with you and always by you at all times during all the difficulties, which would not be there when he is not there. So it is literally like, Swamiji, the way Swamiji defines, a joke of husband-wife relationship. Swamiji says, husband is somebody who's always there with you throughout all your problems, and those problems will not even be there if he is not there. Just like that. In a very similar note, the Guru is somebody who removes actually every known and unknown problems in our lives. Anything that and many of the things he may not even make us realize the karmas and the negative effects of the karmas on our lives. The Guru just removes away all the karmas. And it is only the Guru who can liberate us from all the karmas. Literally, for Paramashiva, who does the 5 cosmic actions of creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. In all these 5 aspects, the 5 actions, out of these 5, for creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, and pulling out of delusion, Paramashiva doesn't have to land in a human body. But for liberation, Paramashiva has to take a human body and has to come in the form of a Guru to liberate us. That is why Paramashiva in the Guru Gita says, Dhyanamoolam Guror Murti, Puja Moolam Gurov Padam, Mantra Moolam Guror Vakyam, Moksha Moolam Gurov Kripa. The Moksha Moolam, the root of the moksha, the root of liberation, is the Kripa, the compassion of the Guru. Just one touch of the Guru is enough. He can just liberate us from this delusion and make us experience the ultimate. And avatars happen. See, we need to understand the difference between a teacher, an enlightened master, and an avatar. A teacher is somebody who teaches the technique, who may not even have experienced the technique himself. So there are so many teachers who teach yoga and who teach meditation. It's not like they are like, they may be good at it, but it's not like they've experienced yoga. They are not in that space of ultimate union with the divine. But even then, they are able to teach the yoga sessions. You can go take classes and learn yoga or learn other things, right? Music, singing, dancing, any kind of arts. You go to a teacher and you learn. The next level is enlightened masters. Enlightened masters are those who have experienced the ultimate state. They have had a glimpse of that state. At least they've had a glimpse. And they are able to transmit, like they are basically able to teach us the same technique. And when you practice the techniques, you will also reach the same experience. Because the teaching itself comes from their experience. When you practice, when you get initiated by them, and when you practice, and you will also reach that experience. Then finally we have the avatars. Avatars are those who transmit the experience directly. Swamiji does not give you a technique and say, okay, go practice for the next 6 years. No. Go practice till the rest of your life. No. Swamiji says, come here, I'm giving you the experience, take it, go and live your life. So avatars are those who transmit the experiences to us. That is why when an avatar happens, it is so easy for humanity to experience enlightenment. Swamiji is here for the superconscious breakthrough for humanity, not just one or two people, not just a select group of people. No, it is for the whole of humanity. Because it is the avatar who transmits that experience to us. So avatars are those who transmit that experience to us. And they come down, they assume a human body, they live amongst us, go through everything as us, but yet they are here to liberate us all, to liberate us from the cycle of birth and death and birth and death and birth and death. And that's pretty much what we have been doing, continuously going through this birth and death cycle, some way or the other. And I had a very interesting incident with Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Once Swamiji was sitting by the corridor of a room, and we were sitting inside the corridor. There was a glass door and leading to the balcony. So sitting in the room, facing the corridor, facing the balcony, and there was a glass door. And then inside there was a few of us sitting at the feet of Swamiji, and then there was a bee-like insect which was kind of roaming around in the room. And then it went and sat on the glass door. Right, so it looked like a bee and it looked a little dangerous also. So what I did was, Swamiji was in a meeting and he was talking to a few of us. So I just took some notebook. I had a notebook in my hand and pressed the bee against the glass door. And then I was just keeping it pressed for some time so that it doesn't come back and sting Swamiji or hurt Swamiji. So Swamiji was looking at this and he said, "Nyanatma, what are you doing?" I said, "Swamiji, I'm trying to avoid this bee from stinging Swamiji." He said, "You can never cause a harm to life, and check if the bee is alive." So I took the notebook. Nicely, the bee just fell down. It doesn't look like it was alive. And Swamiji said, "How can you, this is considered as murder. You cannot cause a harm to any insect or any bee." But for me, the whole context was, okay, somehow, it should not be around Swamiji or it should not hurt Swamiji. So the bee fell down. And then Swamiji said, "Check properly if the bee is still alive or if it is dead." Then I looked, just one leg of the bee. That one thing was like moving slightly. I said, "Swamiji, it still has life. It is slightly moving." Swamiji said, "I will heal it and I will bring it back to life. You don't repeat this again." And leave the bee, outside. So I just took the bee carefully and I left it outside. See, every life before taking this human body, we have taken so many millions of births as a human being, as various beings. We have taken millions of births, and in this lifetime, when we have the opportunity to offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja at the feet of the Guru and just to drop all our karmas, surrendering at the feet of the Guru is considered the ultimate surrender. And today in the satsang, Swamiji said beautifully about synergy. Even the fact that the devotion that you have, even the fact that you need to surrender only happens in us after Paramashiva has decided to keep us with him throughout our life. So even the very intention to offer Pratyaksha Pada Puja, even the very devotion happens because of the synergy in the vertical time zones, where in the parallel universe, already Paramashiva has decided to shower you with all the auspiciousness. That is why you are even having an intention to offer. It is not like because you offer the prayer, Paramashiva is blessing you. No, because Paramashiva is blessing you, you are even able to offer the prayer and able to connect with Paramashiva. So beautifully Swamiji revealed in today's satsang. So if you have not watched satsang, this happened like last night India time, pretty late in the night. So if you have missed it, please do tune in and listen to it. It's amazing satsang, very powerful satsang. And so I invite each and every one of you to really experience that devotion and that surrender at the divine feet of our beloved Swamiji and offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is just $1,008. You can visit www.kailasamaila.com/sevas to register for the Pratyaksha Pada Puja.
Yes, thank you, Magnanatna Swami, for sharing that beautiful context, the powerful context of surrendering to Guru. And today's satsang, or yesterday night in India, it was one of the most powerful. So yes, something everyone should watch again and again. And we're also looking forward to the English translation of some aspects of the satsang. Yes. Yes, so the next seva is the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of the sacred cloth to Guru. And this offering is traditionally, it's offered during the Pratyakshapada Puja. Along with the Pratyakshapada Puja, you can also register for the Vastra Seva. So while you're offering the Pratyakshapada Puja, a sacred cloth will also be offered to Guru. And this offering bestows one with the sweetest path to enlightenment and complete protection. So you can register for the Vastra Seva on the same day as the Pratyakshapada Puja. So you'll get to offer it on the day of the Avatara Jayanti also. And you can register on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
So the various offerings that we have to Devi Parashakti is first is the e-hundi offering. Next is the Sankalpa offering, which is just a $1 offering. Then we have the Devi Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, the gold coin offering. The Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. The Swarna Miti, the golden toe ring. The Swarna Mantika, the golden hairline jewelry. The Pratyakshapada Puja, the offering of gratitude at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swamiji. And the Vastra Seva. So now, any of these offerings, if you would like to make, you can visit the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. We are now taking you through a walkthrough on how you can register for these sevas.
So you can visit the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and when you scroll down the page, you can make your offerings to Devi Parashakti on the links on the page. And if you'd like to make an intention to make an offering, you can fill out the form on step 1, and you can receive blessings to manifest your intention into reality. And if you're ready to make the offerings of ornaments or sevas to Devi Parashakti, you can click on the links on step 2. So you can click on the link for e-hundi to make your e-hundi offerings in multiple currencies and any amount of your choice. You can make the offerings in US dollars, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, Euro, Indian rupee, Singaporean dollar, Malaysian ringgit, Great Britain pound, and Chinese yen. And you can make the offering in any amount of your choice. If you're also wanting to make the traditional offerings of ornaments and sevas, you can click on the link for offerings and choose any of the offerings that you would like to offer. The Devi Sahasranama Swarna Kasu in 3 denominations, the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring in 3 different sizes, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower in 3 different sizes, the Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring for Devi's, to adorn Devi's lotus feet, Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry, and the Pratyakshapada Puja and the Vastra Seva, and any of the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti. You can register on this website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and once you've made the offerings, you can also fill out the Sankalpa form with the names of yourself and your family members to be chanted during the offering of the puja and the rituals to Devi Parashakti. So you can fill out the form on step 3. So these are the various offerings to Devi Parashakti that you can register during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan and express your gratitude and love to Devi Parashakti.
And with this, we are coming to the conclusion of this segment and the upcoming events. We just had a beautiful Arudra Darshan last night with a satsang, a special satsang on Arudra. And on the 25th of December, we are having the Kalpataru, a global Kalpataru program, manifesting your reality. So manifesting your desires into reality, a beautiful program, and the Supreme Pontiff will be blessing us all with a Kalpatru Darshan, where Swamiji will be infusing energy into our desires to manifest our desires into reality. And along with Kalpatru, we will also be having the Shiva Diksha level 1, which is also called as a Samya Diksha. And on the 26th of December, we are going to be having the Vishesha Diksha program, which is the Shiva Diksha level 2. And the Shiva Diksha level 2 initiation will be happening on the 28th, which is on the Avatar day. All the initiates will be receiving the Shiva Diksha level 2 initiation. The program itself will be happening on Sunday, which is the 26th of December. So, and of course, on the 28th of December, the grand Avatar Day celebrations. Come and join us. Today is actually the day 3 of the 21-day Brahmotsava, and the Avatar Day falls on the 28th of December. We are going to be having a very special satsang from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and Swamiji is also blessing us with the Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Tulabharam. So each of us can connect with the Supreme Pontiff and offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja offering at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swamiji. So with that, we come to the conclusion of today's segment, and we will be concluding now with the Purna Mantra, and the next following this will be a satsang. We'll be playing a satsang delivered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. With this, we'll be concluding this segment with the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Paramashivoham.